Greetings, travelers. This is channel 42 in the cafe. Today we have a wonderful guest with us, last week's featured member, VeritasVelez. Today we're bringing you at his creative base. I believe it's in Euclid, and I'm going to show you that here real quick. So he's got this beautiful floating bass. He's also been really active playing with the bite beat lately, and so we're going to bring you some of his music that he's been working on as well from his bass. So we've got a great interview lined up. I'm going to circle around and land, and Veritas is going to meet us on the landing pad. Welcome to the show, Veritas. It's a pleasure to meet you. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm fantastic. We've got a great thing here. This is fantastic. A beautiful bass. I love how it's floating here like that.
Yeah, came across a awesome find with the rock, with the the giant trees.
Yeah, I love these planets. They're so cool with everything's so big. Okay, it's really kind of cool. I like how you got this set up here, little storefronts almost,
Yeah, this is
workshops.
my cafe.
Yeah, look at that. That's awesome, dude.
And then over here I have a little, kind of like an all-purpose general store.
Okay.
Opens up.
Oh, whoa. That's cool. I like that. Look at all these goodies.
And you should still be able to access them all, I think. The save point and everything, and all the boxes.
Yep. Yep. That's pretty good. Nice job, dude. I like that.
Thanks.
All right. I guess we'll go upstairs. Oh, this is really nice. I like the theater style setup.
Thank you. Yeah, I figured, you have an audience, so give them a place to sit.
All these trophies all set up here. Nice job, dude. This place looks great.
Thank you.
It's like a chapel. Wow, this is awesome. Oh, look, here's the bite beat room. I like how you got that sealed in the glass there like that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'll get it open.
Oh, okay. Very cool. I haven't played around very much with it yet. I've been sort of watching and listening to others, and you've been noticed an awful lot lately. You've been doing an awful lot of work with the bite beat. You've actually been tweeted out by Sean Murray himself.
Yeah, that was really surprising.
Congratulations, dude.
Really lucky.
That's a huge thing. Big pat on the shoulder for that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, thanks. That was really exciting.
Yeah. For that guy to shout you out that's like a dream come true. Like when you're playing the game and somebody really admires your work, and it happens to be that not just the game developers, but the guy himself who runs the whole
Yeah.
show. That's awesome. Okay, well, you know what? Let's listen to some tunes. Let's hear what you got.
All right. And it's basically just, some violins.
It's pretty.
pretty
dude.
much just repeats.
Excellent. That's really good. Way to go,
Yeah,
dude.
thanks. Yeah, that's a cool thing about the byte beats is if you play with that, advanced waveform, you can get some really interesting sounds.
Yeah. Yeah, you done a nice job. It sounds great. Way to go.
And I accidentally came across the sound of the violin. I sat there and I was like, you know what, that kind of sounds a little bit like a violin.
Yeah, it does.
And you could do different woodwind instruments. I found a guitar kind of sound. Really, I think it's the drums that kind of need more work. The drums that they have built in, you sometimes have to try and play with it and kind of make your own drums.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't. Nothing really pops in that low end rumble, I guess. They're still working
Yeah.
on some of the features for it, but I mean, it's a great start. I have to admit, for the game to put this in there.
Oh, I mean, I like most people overlooked it, and I only started playing with it, gosh, I mean, maybe a month ago. I forced myself to sit down, and honestly, this bass here is the first bass I've really, built on since I started with the byte beats. Just kind of playing with that.
Pretty cool. All right, well, let's have a seat. That's pretty cool stuff, man. Kudos to you for putting that together. I haven't really played with the byte beat much myself. I've been sort of just never seem to have enough time to get it all in there. There's so much in this game. So, geez, wow, dude, that's something I got to start dabbling with and playing with because that's awesome stuff. For now, I'm just going to turn my effects down because it is rather loud, and I want to talk with you for a little while.
Right on.
So we're just going to turn that down so we can talk. Perfect. Hey, nice job with the byte beat.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I'm going to get a little closer to you. I'm pretty sure you don't bite.
Now the helmet keeps the teeth in.
There we go. Perfect. Welcome to the show, or I guess thank you for inviting me to your base. This is beautiful. Great job, dude. I love it.
Thanks.
Okay, I'll just pull back. Oh, here we are. I'm doing the silly thing with the standing.
That's awesome.
There we
Gotta
go.
happen at least once.
At least once in a recording, right? There we go. Okay. All right. Well, let's get started, I guess. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Whereabouts are you from in the world?
I live in North Carolina, the
Mm-hmm.
East Coast, United States.
Cool.
Um,
How's the weather down
yeah,
there? Are you dealing with like the same old rain like everywhere else?
yeah. Today was actually the first day where it cleared up, and it was actually pretty nice outside. You could tell it's spring, stuff starting to turn green,
Good.
and yeah, pretty decent actually today.
Nice. Yeah, you got to have a nice day in there somewhere. Um, Ourselves, we got some rain this morning, a little sun this afternoon, and possibly rain later today, but that's typical Vancouver. Um, you
Yeah,
mentioned that you sort of you're a family man. You work from home, and do you homeschool your own children?
I do. My daughter, she does like online school.
Yeah. That's a growing thing. I've noticed the trend
Hmm.
is increasing, and it seems you can get better schooling for your children on a one-to-one basis by doing it homeschooling, and it seems to be a really really good way of doing it.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to be able to do it. I mean, it's definitely not for everybody, but I think it kind of fits our lifestyle. And, right now, especially, it's kind of awesome that we've had this opportunity because she hasn't had to, quit school or, it's kind of the one normal thing for us, other than for me playing No Man's Sky anyway, you
Yeah,
know.
it's business as
Um,
usual for her, right? So
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. And she has a teacher she meets online with 2 times a day, so
Hmm.
it's a class full of other students. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah. The setting is very much more intimate. It's more of a one-to-one basis, it seems, which is really cool because the teacher gives you the attention that the student needs, right?
Yeah,
Often
yeah,
there's more or less attention needed, right? You're able to cater to that a lot. Hey, that's awesome, man. Fantastic. I'm glad that you're able to do that for your family.
yeah. It's
How
pretty cool.
how many children do you have?
Just the one.
Just the one so far? Yeah.
Just the one, yeah.
Yeah. How old is she?
She's 5.
Oh, yeah, okay. So you
Yeah,
got
fun age.
a lot of years ahead of
Fun
you of
age,
fun.
yeah.
Right
Yeah.
on. I guess she's getting into trouble now.
Oh, not yet.
Not yet? Okay,
Not
well
yet.
that's
She's got
good.
a little
Cross
bit
the
of an
fingers.
attitude, so,
Cross your
a little
fingers.
sassy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a little sass is kind of cute though, I have to admit. Adds personality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How old are you?
30. 30? Yeah, 30.
30. Oh, wow.
I didn't
Okay. So
question
you,
that because I know I have a birthday this year, like
yeah.
everybody else, I guess. But yeah, yeah, 30.
Nice. Nice. I've got a few years on you still. I'm like 40, I'll be 47 shortly. Um, so 30s are great years. Great years. I loved my 30s. Um, enjoy it. Really enjoy it. Fantastic time for you, especially with a young
Yeah,
family. Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it.
Right on, right on. I noticed you've also been enjoying No Man's Sky an awful lot. You've been all over the place. You're in all the communities. Definitely an active community member, taking part in events and helping other members in more than just one community. You're at the PBF. You're in the big No Man's Sky amino. Often we call it the vanilla amino, but that we only say that because it's the big original amino where
Right,
it
right.
all started from. Um, but that, yeah, you're everywhere. You're a curator at the Big Amino. What's it like being a
Yeah.
curator over there with like so many people all the time over there?
It's great actually. Awesome group of fellow curators and the leaders over there, nice guys, and that's fairly new for me as well. I want to say a couple months. Um, and same thing with the PBF actually, and I've got so lucky with that too. Uh, just I'm very fortunate to kind of met the people that I have playing the game.
There's some great
I mean,
people in this game. There
yeah,
really is. Really awesome
the
people.
best gaming community, and I definitely believe the best developers for a game. You know,
Yeah,
they
and
just
an
they pay
original
attention.
with the procedural
Yeah,
generation and
yeah,
listening to their audience. And the game has changed just based on what the fans wanted, and they've given us all that stuff, right? I mean,
yeah,
I'm not sure if any fans necessarily asked for the bite beat, but they took it upon themselves to hire somebody to create this that wanted
yeah.
to do it for the game, and they gave that person an opportunity to do it, and now we're enjoying it. I mean, what does that tell you about the company among so many other things? Free updates and just so great stuff for HG. I'm glad that you're enjoying it on multiple levels. Um, are you are you one of the leaders at the PBF?
Um, Not exactly a leader. It's more,
They call it a group of
uh,
seven, or
yeah, the Council of Seven.
that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And are you
I am one of the council.
you are
Sounds
okay?
funny to say,
Well,
but
no.
yes,
I
I'm
mean,
one of the
it helps
Council of Seven.
because that way, if any members that are a part of the PBF, that they need questions that need answering, at least they know who to go to, and you're one of those people that can answer those questions. Um, your building prowess is pretty amazing. You've built some pretty cool stuff. As I was perusing through your profile, I saw some of the co-op builds and the personal builds that you did, and they're really amazing. That giant tech thing that you made, it looks like a giant egg with arms sticking out
Oh
of it,
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like a floating Dalek or something.
yeah.
Really cool, man. I like that. That was awesome. I don't play creative very much, but I'm gonna have to take a portal ride over there and check that place out. Uh,
Yeah,
definitely.
that was just kind of a random thing. I'd happened to have watched was it the Sonic the Hedgehog movie with the family, and I was just kind of I've always liked Sonic the Hedgehog and Robotnik, so that was kind of like a Dr. Eggman, one of his robots. And I kind of imagine he always makes his stuff in the shape of eggs and always gives them mustaches, so I kind of made a
You made an egg
I
bot.
guess Yeah, exactly.
That's, you know what? That's awesome. And I mean, for those of you who don't know, it took an awful lot to make that because you made the egg entirely out of glass, and it's all rounded, which is part of the glitching techniques that are being used these days for some of the amazing builds. Um, how did you learn it? Did you stumble upon it through Beeblebum, through some of his videos, or
Oh,
was it
I'm actually
somewhere else?
happy to tell the story because I gotta give him credit. K-Dog, Action Pants Gaming.
Yes.
I actually was a huge fan of his show, and I think I linked up with him through the Amino. We kind of began talking and stuff, and one day we were chatting in game, and I was like, "Yeah, I don't know how to glitch build. I have a hard time with the timing." And I was like, I've watched a bunch of videos, some of which were probably Beeblebum at the time because I didn't know of Beeblebum yet. Um, and he was like, "Oh, I'll come in." And he hopped in my game, and we just, chatted, and we were messing around. He showed me how to do it probably within 10 minutes. And like once you do it one time, you think you can't do it because it's not an easy thing to start doing. The timing is kind of weird, and not everybody can watch a video and know how to do it. You know,
It is
and
difficult. I've tried to do a little bit of it myself, and I'm a beginner novice at it. It takes me a few
I would
tries.
say keep trying, man. Keep giving it a shot because once you get that first, second, and third piece in there, it's like you become addicted almost.
It is
Like,
addictive.
oh, what else can I do? What else can I? And I mean, these guys have come up with so many cool things you could do with glitch building. Beeblebum, Action Pants with the tier two glitch and the blender glitch and just some awesome, awesome stuff. And it helps us because we learn and we get those techniques, and you see other people creating some awesome stuff with those techniques.
Oh, absolutely. That's what the community is all about, is helping other players, whether it's, like building and everything, from multi-tool ships, learning part of the mission storyline, maybe helping somebody get unstuck from various
Yeah,
different missions or so on. Um, Everybody in the community is just fantastic, and it's across the board. Like whether you're a part of PBF, the cafe, um, the Big Amino Hub, FDI. There's so many little groups and communities out there with the social media platforms, and everybody's so friendly. And of course,
yeah,
you're one of the newer ones that we've come across over the last year or so, who's made a pretty good name of yourself of just helping everybody out and being a really friendly guy. And that takes notice. Definitely. We've noticed you for a while now, and it's sort of when we decide on who to feature, we're like, who do we feature this week? There's because there's so many people that are like active in the community. We're like, it's like flipping a coin, or
yeah.
and your name came up, and we're like, yeah, Veritas, like because you've made an impact on the community.
Oh my God,
Um,
that is so surprising.
no, don't be
Like it was
surprised.
so unexpected, and it's crazy.
It's
Especially because I've actually like been a fan of the show. Like I was like, oh, this is cool. I would love to be on this show and just chat and. But I've been lucky, man. I've just met some cool people, and I give a lot of credit to doing the collabs with Boyd. I mean, that really helped get my name out there too, and that's another person that I've learned a lot from too. Uh,
Boyd's a great guy. Yeah, he's done
just a
building from the
talented builder,
start.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He built McDonald's before building was even really a thing.
Mm.
Way, 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 way back when Foundation first dropped. And as the sign says on the real McDonald's, it's like, over 1 billion served. Pretty much every No Man's Sky player in the game has visited that McDonald's base build of his at least at one point in time. And
Yeah.
I believe it is still you're still able to see it. I think I'm pretty sure. Boyd's pretty amazing. He does a lot of builds, and a lot of recently he's been going around and he's been showcasing other people's builds too,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's really cool because like it's not all about him. He's showcasing other great builders in the community, and if it may not have been for him, others may not have noticed other great builders like yourself and Beeblebum and
Yeah.
and so on, and that this whole group of builders within the community has taken on a whole new life, and they're all uniting and joining up together in the PBF server, and it
Right.
seems to be a really, really tight knit group of people, and they're all friendly. Everyone's so great and willing to
Yeah.
help and teach and share all these fantastic new methods and techniques. It's something to behold, and if anyone's interested in building, that's the place to be. It really is, um,
Yeah.
because you can learn a lot from those guys just by chatting with guys like yourself and Beeblebum and Nirvana. I mean everybody.
Yeah.
Everyone's so
Yeah.
friendly. Um, Now, what do you like to do in the game most? Are you a builder by like is that your favorite, or is that just something else that you like to do?
I think building, I mean, since I first picked the game up, because I'm kind of late to the game too. I've been playing less than a year, but I've always been just taken by the building aspect. Um,
Really, less than a year?
and yeah, I got my PlayStation around Father's Day last year.
Wow, you play like
So
you've
this
been playing
is,
for a few years. Like
man,
you have a
yeah, I mean,
great knowledge of the game. You really do.
I've just been really into it, like it's one of those games that just kind of sucks you in,
Oh, I
and
know.
I waste money buying other games, man, because I'll pop them in for 10 minutes and I'll get right into No Man's Sky. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, base building. I love to explore too, because I can't build a good base unless I find a good planet to do it on. So I gotta, I spend a lot of time exploring. I do occasional ship hunting. Right now, I'm just kind of obsessed with the bite beats because, I know there's a lot. It's like a whole other level of building, because you're playing with sounds, you're playing with, different stuff in there. So been kind of focused on that. But yeah, I could say, base building is definitely number one for me.
Yeah, I know it's really awesome how they've introduced it, so you can install it in your base and so on. Have you played around with the light panels and sort of, like the disco sort of scene and anything yet?
I have. I've built a couple. I've got a little pyramid. It's actually at the Amino Hub. I've got a pyramid base, and then
That's the dance club pyramid, is that right?
yeah, the
Yeah.
pyramid. Yeah, that one, and then yeah, I think yeah, I did a little bit at the treehouse base. A
Oh,
little
okay.
bit. I've just noticed if that's one of those things that you do a lot of, especially with the byte beat controllers, the music gets really choppy. Um, and I think that's because I'm on a PlayStation base model. I'm sure it's a bit different on a Pro probably, but yeah,
I
it's
still
one of those
have
things.
the first PlayStation 4 that came
Yeah,
out.
I love my
Yeah.
PlayStation.
Yeah, I haven't upgraded in years. When PlayStation 4 was first released, I was one of the first in Canada to run out and buy one, and then all my
Yeah,
friends were laughing at me because I had bought one so soon and nobody had one. So I was the only one of my friends playing the darn thing. But it still runs No Man's Sky. I don't have a lot of lag issues. I mean, I definitely had to delete a whole bunch of photos, but um, it runs pretty good. I just keep it clean once in a while with a little vacuum, and we're set to go.
oh, I think the main drawback, honestly, is just we don't get rainbows. I think
Uh,
that's something that I heard that
I have yet to see a rainbow. I wasn't sure if it was
yeah.
because of my PlayStation 4 or whether or not I just haven't really looked. And I have to admit, I'm not as much of a planetary explorer as I am a spatial explorer. Um, I do like to get out and do a little zoology every now and then, but I don't necessarily explore a planet like some other folks do. What about yourself? Are you a planetary explorer?
I think to some extent, yeah. I mean, I'll go and I'll see what cool places I can find, but honestly, it's most of the time with building in mind. For instance, this place, when I came across it, I was like, oh, I see lots of flying islands, but that's a really small one, with a couple trees. That could look cool. So that's kind of the extent of it, is where I'll look for interesting places or like big caves or, just something unique that isn't like every other place I've built. But aside from that, probably not. I think I spend more time exploring planets that I get sent on with missions too. You
Hmm.
know, like I'll end up getting sent to feed some animals or, find some kind of resource, and I end up sometimes just spending a while just walking around.
Yeah,
But
don't
that
we
might just
all?
be because I get kind of, spacey. So,
That's how I end up doing zoology sometimes. You land on a planet looking for one thing, and then you scan an animal, and then you scan another one, and the next thing you know, you're running
yeah.
around a planet trying to complete the zoology. Um, it's kind of funny how you just exploring leads to one thing, then another, then another. The game is so vast, and all the things that you can do. Um, it takes a lot of creativity to find the right location for a base because I don't know about you, but when I'm looking for a location, I'm thinking of the base that I want to build and then a location I want to build at, and sometimes I don't find it, so then my plans change. It can be tedious work looking for just the right
Yeah.
location. Does it take you
Yeah.
long when you're searching, or you just sort of see something you're like, yeah, perfect? Um,
Oh man, sometimes it's I get very lucky, like with this place. I can think of maybe one other place that's happened. Sometimes I end up spending, I mean, I'll spend hours looking for the right planet, and then once I get to the planet, as long as it has the right weather conditions, because as a builder, you're looking for very favorable conditions, so it doesn't mess with your render. You get a rainy or a foggy planet, and all of a sudden everything's kind of popping in and out.
yeah.
So
Now
there's
do
that, and then if you care about the energy, as far as having the electromagnetic generator powered, some people do, because it looks better. That's another thing is you got to look for that hot spot, and so yeah, there you can definitely spend a long time looking for the right place.
I know I spent a long time looking for a hotspot for a generator myself. I've tried a couple of different methods of what's the best way to build your base, whether you use the solar panels or the solar or not solar electromagnetic generator. I
Right.
like the electromagnetic generator and it is preferable, but it's not always convenient, I have to
Yeah.
admit. And so at least they've given us an option to go with solar panels, and we can do all kinds with them because you can hide them in rooms, you can hide them under a building, and they'll still open up and
Yeah.
charge.
Yeah.
Um, you just sort of have to create a little space for it, right? And sometimes for the aesthetic reasons, it doesn't isn't always conducive. But I have to admit, a lot of the builders have found some ingenious ways of powering their base without you even seeing the power supply.
Hmm.
And I really dig that, how people are finding these great ways of powering their base without making it an eyesore, which initially was a problem with a lot of travelers. I'd be reading comments when the update first dropped at how what an
Yeah.
eyesore it is to have cables running everywhere and this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, of course, that's why you put them underground or, certain places. Placement is everything. And once everybody started to figure that out and understand that power is not such an evil thing for your base, then it became fun. And,
Yeah.
well, one thing led to another. Now we've got this amazing glitch building, which is possible because of the wires. Um, and I'm very, very pleased with that because it makes things so that novice players like myself can learn to glitch build and build some really cool stuff, whatever my artistic mind desires.
Yeah. And I mean now with the what is it called? The terrain regenerator. You have the regeneration tool. You
Yeah, you can
can
flatten
it's
stuff.
very easy to bury it. You dig a hole, you put it in the ground, you bury it, forget about it.
Yeah, yeah. I've done that on a few of my builds. It's kind of nice. One of them, I wanted a wire that would be, run from above like a telephone wire that you'd see on
Hmm.
Earth, you right, and have it run all the way from my power generator to my base, which is at a lower ground level. So I tried that, and I thought it looked kind of neat, but I almost wish I had built power lines to accentuate it a little bit. Maybe on my next build I'll try something like that. Um, I think another builder did something similar to that. Zaz Aarons, he
Hmm.
one of his first builds when the update came out had a base that was it must have been miles from the electro generator source. And he ran cables for miles, and it looked really cool because he built these telephone poles for them.
Hmm.
So there's so many ways of running it. In that regard, it was probably would have been easier for solar panel generation, but it was really cool that he had the artistic mind to do that. And there's so many different ways of doing it. Um, if you like building, you said that's your favorite thing.
Yeah.
What else do you like doing? Are you like a big on ship hunting? Are you an S class kind of guy where it's like you got to have the S class or nothing?
I don't know why, but for some reason, if it's A class or better, I'm fine. Like, and I know we can upgrade it, so it shouldn't matter anymore if you come across a C or a B. But for some reason, I always like to get it at an A or an S.
I'm kind of the same. Yeah. If you're gonna go, you might as well spend the money on something quality. And if you can't find the S, at least you can find the A, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm under the same beliefs there. What about like multi-tools? Do you ever like hunt around for multi-tools and try and find those minor settlements?
I've just got such bad luck with it. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I don't do it often enough, so my chances wouldn't be super great. But
Well,
I'll
it's not
go and
easy.
yeah, yeah, it's
It,
not.
no, there's a bit of a technique. I haven't quite mastered it myself. You know what I like to do? I just like flying around in space stations and checking there
Me too.
and,
I check
and
every
get
space station I
lucky.
go to.
Yeah, and just get lucky and hope for the best. It's not the most surefire way, but I found a couple of multi-tools that way, nice S-class multi-tools.
Yeah.
It just takes a lot of
Really?
space stations, which is
Really?
unfortunate. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
for the longest time I was only getting C's, and more recently I've been getting more. I found an A actually earlier today, but I
Nice.
still have not found an S class yet.
Definitely
So I think
check
all my
the
multi-tools right now are A.
yeah, definitely check more of the high-end systems, high economy
Hmm.
systems. They seem to have a little bit better odds, it seems. I don't have necessarily proof on that, but it seems the high economy systems, it's just a little bit easier for the spawning ratio to spawn an S class. Less sort of like if you're playing the odds or stacking the deck, right? There's
Right.
more chances that you'll find an S class in that stack of cards in a higher economy system than a lower economy system. And it works the same with ships and other S class items too. So that might help you out in that regard, hopefully.
Okay. I'll have to give that a shot.
Definitely, definitely. And if not, well, we got all kinds of wikis for you. We can always find you an S class tool of whatever you like.
Yeah, I've seen them on the Reddit, but like unlike a starship, you know, you have to go hunt it down, right? You have to go to the right cabinet. Is that how it works? You have to
uh,
find the right.
would you mean the ones in the space station?
Well, I guess I never thought of that. If you just go to a space station one, I just know I've seen some on the what is it, the coordinate exchange. I've seen some multi tools on there,
Yeah.
and I've seen them with the portal coordinates, but I've never seen it with the location of the actual cabinet.
Ah.
I just kind of figured you'd probably have to find the right cabinet, right?
Well, no,
Or you
it
think
is
it'd just
specific.
be,
No, it's definitely
yeah.
specific. Quite often, what they're doing now is they're marking the planetary coordinates that go
Hmm.
along with the portal coordinates.
Yeah, see, I haven't been there to check in a little while. But that's an awesome place too. I found a couple of awesome ships that way. The ship I have now actually is one that I found on the coordinate exchange.
There is an awful lot of ships on the coordinate exchange, I have to admit. That's a growing resource center for a lot of places, a lot of people, I should say, finding ships that are there.
Yeah.
A lot of people have used it in the past. There's no guarantee you're going to walk out of there with an S class. That's dependent on how long you're willing to wait. But
Yeah.
the ships are always there when they post them. The ships are there. You just gotta wait if you want the good ones, as in any place, right? Anytime you're going to be ship hunting or something like that. With the multi tools, yeah, you know You look up the coordinates that they usually have supplied, and once you take the portal there, you use the coordinates and fly your ship to the right minor settlement. Um, Sometimes you have to reload on certain planets to get the right multi-tool, but other than that, they're solid.
Right on.
Yeah. What keeps you coming back to the game? Like what keeps you playing it? This game's a year old, or sorry, I should say you've been playing for a year now,
Yeah.
and most games don't usually get that much gameplay, 3 to 6 months, and then it's on to the next one. Why have you continued to play?
Oh man, that's a good question. Uh, I don't know. I get a new game and I'll play it for a little bit, and for some reason I always come back to it. It's one of those. It's like every day, pretty much, I play it. You know, even when I feel like it's getting stale and repetitive, I'll stumble across something. I'll find something, and I play with friends, so it's one of those things where my buddy Nico, we play together. If not every day, like every other day, pretty much. So it's playing with friends, it's building stuff, and it's just a good game. You know,
There's so
it's
much to
it's
do.
got so much to it. Yeah, I mean, if you get bored with one thing, go cook something. Go tame some animals.
Yeah, or
It's just got a lot.
yeah, or get a new ship, or a multi-tool, or maybe zoology. There's a million things to do. And
Yeah,
building, you don't have to build a base. You could build like structure, sculpture. There's so many building options now. Once you figure out how to do the glitch building, the game has so much to offer. And
yeah,
sometimes you just got to give it a chance to figure out that you don't need a linear path to do stuff. You can just sit around and talk with a friend. What
yeah,
we're doing right now, like
yeah,
this is playing the game. Yeah, we're doing an interview and talking, but we're playing the game right now together.
yeah.
Right? You gotta love that. Um, Whew, unbelievable stuff. I love the music. I love what you've done with everything in this base that you've built here. I'm looking
Oh,
forward to
I
seeing so
appreciate
much
that.
more of your stuff, dude. Have you thought about coming out to Unity One?
I would love to. Um, I mean, I'm not sure if you guys have anything established in creative, because really, I mean, I honestly live in creative pretty much because I'm always building, and I would love to build there for sure. Um, if you guys don't have something in creative, I would love to help put something there in
We would
creative.
love to have you there. Myself, I'm trying to get my creative there. I have to complete the Artemis quest and the Atlas path, so I can see
Right.
black holes and warp my butt over there. As of yet, we need creative players there. We don't have anybody there that I could hop off of and make it there.
Right.
But as soon as I am there, or somebody that I know of is there in creative, we want to get you there for sure, right? But yeah, we would love to have you over there on creative and do your thing. One of the newer things that we're working on in the cafe is having people globally build their home in Unity One and represent their little piece of home.
Oh,
And this is in
cool.
response to everybody being socially distanced
Right.
and under quarantine in their own homes and cities. It's a worldwide pandemic, and that was one of the newer things that we're going to try and do with Unity is bring everybody there and have you pick out a place that you would consider your home and name it like that and build on it. Your house
Oh,
or your
I'm
favorite
definitely
bar
gonna
or
do
something.
this. Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
definitely.
happening. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, we got to have you out there. That's fantastic. Have you thought about traveling to other galaxies at all?
I've got a couple spots. I've got one Egyptian style, like pyramid city kind of thing. Um, Actually building that after Beeblebum made his awesome pyramid tutorial. Um, I made a little, that's in Hilbert. And then I've got a base in Isentam,
Oh, good.
and yeah, I've got a
So you've
couple
gotten
spots.
around. Oh, good. Okay, so you're well traveled now. You've moved around the galaxies and had a chance. Have you ever thought about making like an extended trip, something like distant, past Eisentam?
Oh man, I would love to. Like,
Yeah.
I would love to get into the, past 100 if possible.
That's a lot of warping, I tell you.
Yeah, yeah.
It was about a year ago where we finally set foot in our destination of the Zobran's Galaxy number 42. That was a movement that we
Ooh,
started last year, and there was a group of us that made the pilgrimage, warping all the way from. I, well, I started in Euclid, but many of us started in Eisentam and warped all the
right.
way to 42. It was a really fun time, and we all had a lot of fun bouncing off each other and warping, and um, we may have to do that again. If you're interested, maybe we'll bring you on out to 42, and you can have a place out in the distant galaxies.
Oh, I'm down.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And my creative save got wiped out from there, unfortunately. But we have other saves there. There's a permadeath. We have normal, and not creative yet. But I have a feeling somebody may start a creative save and work their way out there just for the heck of it. So anything is possible.
42. Jeez. How many were you, like, how many people were working on that?
Well, we had the first wave of travelers had 7 of us, and then we had
Wow.
another couple of waves of 3 or 4 travelers, which also came out there. So we had a permadeath group that came out, myself, Captain Emin, and Retska. And we also had another normal save group come out, a couple of different groups. Um, so there's I would say 20 to 30 people that made the journey out there. Some known, some not known, different platforms. There may be more. I'm not entirely certain, to be honest with you, but there was quite a few of us that made the warping journey. It was a lot of fun.
So you're basically warping as far as you can, and then someone joins your game, and then, it's like a relay,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. Well, we would take it even a step further. One person, excuse me for just a moment, I need to clear my throat.
Oh, you're fine.
Sorry about that. I'm still getting over a little bit of a bug. Yeah, so we would warp all the way across the galaxy in one go. It would only take about 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, black hole jumping is the way to go, and we just warp our way right to the core. And when the next person got on, usually it's a few hours later, they would meet up with us, and we would link them up, and they would jump from one end of the galaxy to the other through the multiplayer. And then that person would go to bed, and the next person would take over and jump the galaxy core and warp to the next galaxy. And when we woke up, we would jump on
Wow.
their game and do it again. And we would just continuously do this. Took us about 7 weeks. Yeah,
Wow.
a
I
lot of,
mean, that's one of the hidden benefits of having, multiple time zones.
yeah,
When one person's going to bed, the other person's starting their day. So,
exactly.
that can be a blessing. It can be a curse. I know, doing collaboration builds or even having a friend that, lives a whole other time zone. It's, can be
It changes a
interesting.
lot. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm glad that we were able to sort of make it work out. When
Yeah.
you play the game, you're available for brief moments of time sometimes, and it's those moments that you really, really cherish because you may only have had 10 or 15 minutes to play with your friend, but it's in that 10 or 15 minutes where you're accomplishing these great things and having a lot of fun and bouncing off of each other, or maybe you're having
Yeah.
difficulties or whatever, but you're both laughing and having a good time. And this game allows for that, even if when it gets buggy and silly sometimes, it just makes you laugh. um,
Yeah. Oh,
it's
you
never.
have to laugh at it, or you won't.
Yeah,
You'll throw your controller.
yeah, it's never a throw your controller kind of a thing. And if you're getting that
Yeah.
upset, then it's not the game for you.
No.
But its bugs have it has those laughs. That's definitely for sure. I have, if you'll excuse me there again, I have one final question for you. I ask this to everybody, and it's sort of a going thing that goes with the moniker of the cafe. And you may be familiar with the movie and the books, the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So my question to you is, do you have the answers to life, the universe, and everything else in between?
God, I wish. That's my answer. I
God,
wish.
I wish.
Yeah, God, I wish.
We're going to chalk that one down. I wish. There we go.
Yeah,
We've had some good ones, some really interesting answers. We've had, of course, 42, 16,
right.
bacon being one of my favorites. I
Oh,
got to say,
jeez.
sword. Yeah, sword pumped out one of the best ones ever with bacon. Some really,
That's such
really
a
good ones.
sword answer too.
It
Jesus.
is, I know. Well, bacon, right? I mean, that's food porn, dude.
Yeah, bacon goes good with everything, man.
Yeah, I know. You could always eat bacon. I want bacon toothpaste. Um, at least that'd make it enjoyable.
Oh man.
Oh man, that's awesome. I was thinking, to wrap up our show, would you like to play the music again, and we can just sort of listen to the music and chit chat as we wrap things up?
Sure.
Right on. I'm going to turn my music levels back up so we can hear it. And I'm going to stand in a part of the bass where it sounds cool.
Yeah, there.
Excellent stuff here, dude. This bass is fantastic. You did a great job.
I appreciate that. I actually, what's funny is, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do the interview. I definitely want to build something because it's been so long for me. At least it feels that way. And I got it done really fast. I was worried too. I was like, oh, there's no way I'm gonna get it done in time.
Ugh,
But finished it up last night.
you never have to worry about that. I've always got a studio just in case I need to, have somebody over for the interview. Um, but this is perfect because visiting somebody else's bass and seeing what they've done adds to the creativity of the person I'm interviewing. So it's really awesome. Thank you so much for having me over at your
Oh,
bass.
dude, thank you for having me. It's such a huge honor, man.
The pleasure is all ours, really, because without you guys,
I'm gonna trap
it...
you inside there real fast. And
Hi.
I gotta do that to
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah, let's
Everybody
wave.
gets it once.
Hey, let me out. Hey. Thanks again for being on the show. We look forward to our broadcast on over the weekend. And please, by all means, drop by. We love to have you before, during, and after the interview to play around and have some fun joking with the other members of the community in the screening room of Channel 42.
Heck yeah. Yeah, it was
Excellent.
fun, dude. I had a great time.
There we go. The big thank you. Woohoo!
Let's see, I gotta do one too. Let's see. Can't
Yeah,
believe it.
mind blowing. Here, see if we can try and do a high five. I don't know. It might be kind of
Alright, hold
tough.
on. What are we doing?
High,
Wave?
yeah, I
Oh,
think a
oh, oh.
wave. That's as
Well,
close to a high five as it gets.
if we freeze it at the right moment, we might have got one.
Yeah. Right
Oh,
now.
I just jumped. Oh well.
There we go. Almost. Okay. This is Channel 42's in the cafe with VeritasVelez. Thank you again.